Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Smoking Syndicate. I'm your host, Ben Lee, here in the Tatawahe Studios in beautiful Asheville, North Carolina. And for this review, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Not reviewing a cigar this time, but actually an accessory. And this one is a lighter that we're reviewing. It's an ST Dupont Defi Extreme in the petrol color. Now, this lighter, this lighter is a newer version of this lighter, actually. This one, I'll show you the old one here. I have an old one version here. And you see the biggest difference. One is this is a single flame. This is a dual flame. Another major difference is this doesn't have the closure that this one does. So that one is a big difference to me. I would say, too, between these, the build quality actually on the new Defi Extreme is a lot better to me than the old one. The older one, it just seems to be, I don't want to say cheap filling, but this one is more substantial filling than this one. It almost feels twice as heavy as this lighter. But one of the problems that I had with this one originally, I'm going to put that down for a second, was, to me, this one seemed to have a fuel cell in it that didn't really last very long. Like my regular MaxiJets from ST Dupont seem to last a lot longer than these do. And also, if you'll see like these casing around the side, right? You can see right here, I have a crack right there in this one. And I believe there was another crack, but it's a chip right there, a small crack. This seemed way more fragile than I would like, to be honest. And I baby my lighters. I don't throw them in my pocket or throw them in a bag with a bunch of other stuff. I usually put this, if I put them in my pocket, I usually put these lighters in like the coin pocket or the watch pocket or whatever, the fifth pocket, like jeans or pants or whatever. This one I usually keep in my Peter James case, like this right here, because it has slots right here. And it always stays here. Now, this one stayed in that case just like that until I got this one, which I picked up at the cigar shop in Biloxi, Mississippi. Now, if you look at these two side by side, you can tell like the cage on the outside of this one is much more substantial and can handle shock a lot better. Another thing I liked about this one is this fuel. I don't know. I couldn't find the information on the two, but to me, the fuel cell in this one is much bigger than this one because this one seems to last twice as long. Ironically, it's a dual burner. So I don't understand how it does that, but I don't know. It just seems to handle the gas better. And you can see it's also thicker as well. Now, I will say that these vents here do give a pretty good cooling for this lighter too, because the tops they get warm, obviously, but they don't get so warm where you can't touch the tops. Now, see, look at the difference in the actual button. They're pretty much the same, just this one is chrome and that one's black. This one's a little bit thicker, more sturdy than this button is. This one also it has a little lanyard that you can put on there. I never use it. I don't see the point in that. And you can see it's not on this one anywhere. But this lighter is, I love the build quality. The build quality is excellent. It lights up every time. Never fails. And what's pretty cool about this, like these, when they first came out, you had to use the ST Dupont fuel in the red can, which wasn't cheap and wasn't easy to find. Now with this one, I use the Cigar high altitude fuel that goes in there that Cigar makes, and it runs like a champ. Does really, really good. I'll get that out of the way now. But this lighter, to me, is a substantial improvement over the old lighter. The only drawback to it for me is it doesn't have the closure on top of the jets. Now, the reason I like that is because You can't get stuff inside there. Like if you have this in your pocket, it's easier for lint to get in there and clog these jets up. I haven't had that problem because, like I said, I keep this in my Peter James cigar case at all times, so it's usually never in my pocket ever. But that is a problem, and I don't know why they got rid of that. It seems like such a simple thing to add, but I don't know. Maybe in a future version, maybe they'll go back to that. I'm not real sure. So overall, it's a really, really good lighter. I really enjoy using this. I love the dual flame, especially as they go to a pinpoint as well, which is always a plus. So it's not like a wide flame, but you can adjust it because it's just like a perfect little triangle. So it does a really great job. I highly recommend this lighter from DuPont. To me, it's probably the best lighter besides like their classic line twos. But I have a review coming up of my Legrand lighter. And I will say that lighter is 3 or 4 times more than this one. And to be honest, I use this one more. This one just seems to do everything I need. It's more robust. It's just a nice lighter, really great lighter. I want to point out that these are both called the Defi Extreme, right? But this one, because it has the dual flame, is a Defi Extreme with 2X's in it, where this is just the regular Defi Extreme with 1X. Now, the price on both of these is around 260, 270 euro, which is roughly about 320 or something like that US dollars right now. But out of the two, this is the one you want for sure. This one is much more robust. The fuel tank seems to be I don't know if it's bigger or not, but this one lasts me a lot longer than this one does. Lighting cigars the same way, using it the same way. But to me, this is the clear winner. This is definitely the one that you want to get. It comes in several colors, but I really like navy blue or this petrol color. Really good contrast. I love this lighter. So check it out, your local brick and mortar if they carry ST Dupont, and give it a shot. Tell me what you think in the comments. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And on that note, I'll see you next time.